Taehangi, no, please don't want to talk with you. Just taking a hesitant step backwards, Jungkook cuts himself off with a heavy sigh. He cuts a hand through his hair, which Taehyung knows, in this situation, is a sign of nervousness. But he's unable to hide the hint of curiosity in his eyes, lingering his gaze on Taehyung a moment too long. Always curious, Taehyung thinks, a tingling warmth spreading in his chest. Immediately followed by a sharp, hollow feeling of sadness. Curious or not, the coldness in the words he utters isn't familiar to Taehyung's ears, and it hurts for real, being in the receiving end of them. There was a time he never thought he ever would. Just hear me out, Cookie. Please, this is the first time they're at the same gathering for ages, so Taehyung knew straight away when he spotted him across the pool area, that he needed to seize this very rare moment that astonishingly has presented itself. It's not like he's not nervous too, but the alcohol definitely helps him to dare to keep pushing. No. No. It's been almost a year. I can't do this. Can you please just listen to me? I've got things I wanna say to you. I don't want to hear it. Has that ever crossed your mind? That I don't want to listen to, or talk with, you, Taehyung. We're done. I'm sorry, but his voice breaks at the end. It's barely noticeable, but Taehyung hears it clearly. I don't want us to be done, Jungkook, he says, all the emotions rolling through his body right now making his voice tremble. I really don't. Well, I do. There, Jungkook moves a hand around the back of his own neck, looking uncomfortable. He probably doesn't realize that the grimace in his face screams of confusion and pain. And I've moved on, he continues. It's unfair for you talking like that. After all this time, Jungkook looks down and Taehyung can tell he's struggling. He's struggling bad. 10 months may have passed since they broke up, but being able to read his body language doesn't go away that quick. However, he's not exactly sure what kind of feelings Jungkook grapples with right in this moment, as he would have been a year ago. When they were boyfriends, Taehyung could read him like an open book. Hell, they could read each other like open books, but obviously, things have faded a bit since then. I just want you to know that I'm sorry, he blurts out quickly, to have it said, in case Jungkook decides to just walk away. But Cookie stays, giving him a long, unreadable look. Well, I'm too, in that case. You're not the only one to blame. But it's no point digging into that. I feel like it was my fault, though, baby, and I don't. Oh. Taehyung realizes he's used a pet name, and obviously that's not okay right now. Sorry. I'm sorry, it just slipped out of me. Taehyung holds up his hands in an apology. But anyway, I made the worst mistake in my life, a year ago, and I really do want to apologize for how badly I handled it all, including our breakup, Taehyung. It doesn't matter. Okay, Jungkook sounds completely serious, defeated somehow, and Taehyung feels his breath hitch in his throat, because this doesn't sound good. Not at all. It does matter, he insists anyway, slightly desperate now, having a feeling that this is his one chance and that he needs to give it his all. He can as well just say it. The alcohol spurs him on, but it's definitely not the one talking. You're the love of my life, Cookie. I'll never love anyone like I loved, and love, you. Ever. And I'm so incredibly sorry that all that shit needed to happen between us, to make me fully understand that. Jungkook just stares at him, as if he's seen a ghost, even going slightly pale. Tae-hyung relentlessly continues. I realize now that what we had was exactly what it's too late now, anyway, isn't it? I already told you. Jungkook interrupts agitatedly. Tae-hyung swallows hard, looking down. Up so bad? Yeah, you did. Tae hurts that you needed to cheat to find out. Jungkook is seriously lashing out now and Taehyung is kind of devastated and relieved at the same time. Devastated because Jungkook has got it wrong in regards of the cheating part, and relieved because Jungkook opens up and gets it off his chest. I didn't cheat, Taehyung whispers, eyes still averted to the ground. And I already told you, it wasn't only your fault. I was really bad as well, but what's done is done and I really don't wanna dwell on it. At least he keeps talking, Taehyung thinks, and looks at the glass in Jungkook's hand at the same time. He's not had the drink thrown at himself yet either, which clearly is a good sign, right? I'm seeing someone, and okay. That he really didn't see coming, to be honest. He has the wind completely knocked out of him and he chokes on the words he was about to utter. What? And now he can't keep his face or pretend. Feeling his eyes go round and big and his jaw drop slightly open, he tries to find his breath again, but it isn't going that well. Leaning forward with his hands on his thighs, he closes his eyes hard, fighting for air at the same time. They broke up barely a year ago, and before that they'd been together for ages. Hadn't that meant anything to Jungkook? Hadn't he grieved their broken relationship, like, at all? How fast had he moved on? Clearly faster than Taehyung, anyway, that is for sure. Tae, you okay there? Taehyung can barely hear Jungkook's worried voice over the ringing that has started to sound in his ears. He must be joking right now. Taehyung is worried for real. Taehyung can hear it in the way his voice has a firm touch of challenge to it. No, he shouts. No way he cannot hold back. No. I'm not okay. Are you kidding me right now? Cookie Jungkook. His bottom lip hard, staying silent, eyeing Taehyung intently. How do you think I can be okay with you seeing someone, when I just told you I'm sorry for our breakup and that I still love you? There's no end to his swearing, but he just can't be bothered. This is how he feels and he's no good at keeping his feelings to himself, especially not when it comes to feelings in regards of Jungkook. Well, I'm sorry, it comes from Jungkook, voice weak and small. But you broke my heart, Taehyung. And I needed to move on with my life. I needed to feel happiness and love again. What the f it's supposed to mean? Love. Easy a rebound? You and I have been off for almost a year. Tae, he's not a rebound. What the f? Then Taehyung pushes. But he knows he doesn't really want to hear the answer. This is just some sick way for him to twist the knife in his own heart, to make him realize that he must forget about Jungkook, once and for all. My boyfriend, it's only a whisper, but he hears the words crystal clear and although he knew it, it shatters his world. Hearing himself letting out a sob, he quickly covers his mouth with both his hands, shaking his head slowly. Oh my God, is the only thing that comes out, the word muffled behind his hands, but his eyes are screaming in pain. Jungkook bites his lip harder, then he swallows, and then he sighs. Look, but Taehyung isn't planning on hanging around to hear him finish that sentence. He's heard enough. This is it. This is really it. He gave it his best shot, and it was worth a try. He would never have forgiven himself if he hadn't, but now, all he can feel is humiliation and defeat. So, he turns around and walks away. He can hear that Jungkook says something, but not what it is, and it doesn't matter. They're over. That's all he needs to know, to be able to walk away, and finally make an honest attempt at closing this chapter of his life. So, Jungkook was there. Seokjin puts two fresh pints on the table and sinks down on the chair opposite of Taehyung. Taehyung kind of wishes that Seokjin hadn't remembered where they'd paused in the conversation. When Seokjin, he said, "Hold that thought," before he took off to do something about their empty glasses. He knows he'll feel better if letting it all out, even if it still feels far from good talking about it. His heart and mind haven't been compatible since that gathering, where he met Jungkook, a month ago. And he probably just has to get used to it. Yeah. He was there. And I approached him, told him how I feel, and, yeah, Seokjin takes a healthy sip of his beer, nudging Taehyung's glass closer to him, and Taehyung complies and drinks as well. Seokjin might have been right when he suggested that perhaps Taehyung needs a few pints to loosen up a bit and let himself feel, and above all to start to spill. "So, what did you say exactly?" Seokjin asks, and Taehyung knows this is therapy talk, but also that Seokjin also genuinely wants to know.